65-year-old R&B legend Anita Baker is currently in the middle of her Songstress tour. And this, of course, is in honor of the 40th anniversary of her solo debut. So when she announced that Babyface, 64 years old, a fellow R&B icon who is best known by his stage name Babyface, would be joining as the opening act, I mean, all the elders, all the old school folks were excited. They rejoiced. Anita Baker has been talking about hanging it up, but folks just won't let her stop because she's so beloved. They did not have any lack of folks who wanted to see these legends perform. But after a show's cancellation that enraged someone's social media, you know, when folks are mad, they go to social media. There was a month-long Twitter feud between Anita Baker's fans and Babyface's fans. So Anita Baker announced earlier this week that Babyface will no longer be opening for her as she completes the final 9 stops of her tour. Tour is going to end in December. So what's causing all this drama? What is it? How did we get here? Now, I have seen a lot of younger acts have these kind of problems. I mean, it's a little juvenile if you really think about it. I mean, the live experience and, stuff happens. But I mean, how did things get out of hand so fast? These artists in their 60s, they have the same fans for the most part. They're the same age, pretty much. But how could Twitter cause 2 of the greatest R&B talents to feud with each other to the point of a tour cancellation? Talk about money being left on the table. So it was announced last November that Babyface was going to be on this tour. Everything was cool. Anita Baker gave Babyface his accolades, calling him a legend, which he is. She tweeted the announcement. Babyface tweeted that he was looking forward to sharing the stage with her, and he was excited for the fun-filled evenings of music and love, and he's coming off a divorce, so he definitely was ready to get on the road. Seems like everything was going good. Everything was going fine. I mean, you would hear things here and there. The 4th stop on their tour was in Newark, New Jersey. Last month, May the 10th. The show was delayed for 2 hours because of technical difficulties. And those technical difficulties led to Babyface opening set getting cut so that Anita Baker could do her full performance as intended. Now, when that happened, I thought that was weird. Why would his show need to be cut? Just make the show longer, right? So there were folks. So understand this now. Babyface. So you're there, and many times when you go see artists, you may like one, but you don't like the other, or vice versa. Sometimes you like both. But if you go there to see Babyface, and then Anita Baker cuts Babyface performance so she can perform longer because there's some kind of technical difficulties. Now, understand this. These technical difficulties delayed the show for 2 hours. So those Babyface fans waited 2 hours to see Babyface. And then when they finish waiting, you say, you know what? Babyface ain't performing. So yes, I can understand that some folks would be upset. Some folks were absolutely dismayed. And this anger swept across the audience as someone from the venue broke the news to them. Now, Babyface released a statement apologizing for his absence, in which he explained that he was asked not to perform in order to give Miss Baker her space and time to perform her show in its entirety. Fans online got incensed as well. So I don't know. Some people, like TMZ and other gossip sites, kind of interpreted Babyface's wording as throwing Anita Baker under the bus. Now, of course, he said that wasn't his intention. I mean, he had to explain what was going on, right? What else was he supposed to? Was he supposed to lie? I don't know if it's throwing her under the bus as much as it is telling the truth. I mean, what, she couldn't stay up an extra 2 hours? Is it past her bedtime? She's getting paid to be there. Or why don't you have Babyface come on after you if you got to go to bed soon? But whatever Babyface's intentions were, his statement caused a surge of online disapproval that it just kind of knocked the floodgates down. So the comments on Babyface's announcement are full of fans showing him support, and they were kind of going at Anita Baker. Celebrities jumped in the mix too. Jackie Harry commented on Babyface's statement saying that he deserves better. Comedians were saying, I hope she and her team had improved for the better over the years. Legendary singer Stephanie Mills responded to his statement on Twitter saying that one would think as older artists who are considered iconic or legendary, we would treat each other with respect and dignity. So there was a lot. There was a lot going on. But Anita Baker, I mean, I don't think that I'm dropping any surprise here, but she has long since been rumored as being a diva. She's got that diva energy, right? And so some singers have called out Anita Baker for being rude. Anita Baker has had some hostile back and forth with folks on Twitter. So plenty of people also cited Anita Baker's history of beefing with other stars. You remember she had beef with Luther Vandross. So, the wording of Babyface's statement was easy to interpret or misinterpret as casting blame on Anita Baker. Now, some people look at it as a blame for the venue, not letting people in until at least an hour after the doors were supposed to open, and doing the sound check after that, which is funny because they later reported the technical difficulties had to do with the video screens and not the sound. But there is a universe in which Anita Baker could have performed a slimmed down set to make time for Babyface. She could have done that. I think she could have. I've, been a part of and seen many tours and performances. Sound issues, technical difficulties come about, and you tweak things, and you make adjustments. Babyface was billed as the opening act, not the co-headliner. So I guess you could say no matter how legendary he is in his own right, and he is a legend, Anita Baker was adamant about that distinction. She's like, look, he's my opening act. That's like she's trying to sun him, right? She's 65, he's 64. Is Anita Baker a bigger star than Babyface? No, I don't think so. But some people take exception to calling a woman difficult for making tough choices in a less than suitable circumstance is I don't know. It's kind of old school. It may be frowned upon, but that was one show a month ago, right? What were the other shows like in between then and now? And how did things get so bad? Well, of course, you may not be surprised to know this, but there was probably tension there. But things went on pretty good. The tour stopped in New York on May the 12th. Both Babyface and Anita Baker performed that night. They even shared a moment on stage that they both wrote fondly about on social media. They also both performed at the following stop in Maryland, Baltimore to be exact, on May the 14th, which was the last stop before the announcement. So what caused Babyface to leave, get kicked off the tour? Social media is what happened. Unfortunately, the fans on Twitter could not let the incident go. They could not let that initial situation go. They kept citing those long-standing rumors, blaming Anita Baker for allegedly, soured a business deal with Maxwell back in the day. And she said that story was untrue. They mentioned her feud with Luther Vandross. And, she responded to that. And she said that Mr. Vandross and I were one of the most successful R&B pop sold out arena tours of its time. As successful business partners often do, we had disagreements, but we also had joy. It just continued. But the slander, I guess, on Twitter got to be really bad. So you have Babyface, diehard fans bringing up old legal disputes between her and her contractor and generally slandering her character since the May 10th events went down. And instead of ignoring fans, she continued to engage with them, go back and forth. She called them Kenny's crazies in self-defense and accused them of cyberbullying. And her eventual announcement of Babyface exit from the tour, she mentioned some violent threats. So, a lot of folks have online supporters, and if they were my supporters, I would have asked my fans to stop harassing Anita Baker online. Babyface did not do that. And it's clear that because of that, Anita Baker placed some of the onus on him. She blamed him for some of the stuff because he did not try to reel in his fans. Now, that, judging by some recent tweets, may have turned into all of the onus. So first, some of the onus was on him. And then it seems like she switched to blaming him for all of the online stuff. She responded to one troll by saying, "There's a white man behind these grown black men harassing me and gaslighting my fans because he can't take over this tour. So he wants to destroy it. Kenny's crazy narcissist, Babyface, call off your boys. Who is this white man? Is he the crazy narcissist or is that Babyface? I would love to know," Anita Baker said. She also urged Babyface to tell his fans that he was a special support act for her tour, saying the false narrative brewing that he was a co-headliner is creating unrealistic expectation and aggression. Wow. It's sad because Babyface ain't no opening act for no Anita Baker. Co-headliners it seems like that's what it is, but it is her tour of her album 40-year anniversary. So she brought on somebody. She should have brought on an artist that maybe was not of the stature, but then she may have not sold as much. I don't know. Maybe she could have done smaller venues. But it seems like there must have been something pre-existing, because how could, one bad show and some online stuff break apart something that was strong? Now, they had a disagreement. I don't know if you can call it beef. There was a lawsuit in 2006. It was reported that Babyface filed a breach of contract suit against Anita Baker, claiming that she owed over $250,000 for undelivered producer royalties from a collaboration of theirs, and for, get this, canceled concert dates. So a Baker cleared the air, stating that it was Babyface reps who initiated the lawsuit, and explaining that she won and they put it behind them years ago with no hard feelings. So it's really interesting after this, considering what they've been through, that they decided to tour together, given the fact that they were once in a lawsuit and it didn't work out yet again. Hopefully they won't tour together again, because I just think that it will be a bad idea. So if you remember the fact that Babyface and Anita Baker are both in their mid-60s. So I know if I can have haters in my mid-60s, yeah, I might be doing something. But all of this brings us to Anita Baker's announcement this week that after silently enduring cyberbullying, verbal abuse, and threats of violence, she will finish out the tour on her own without Babyface. And she says that this decision was made in the interest of personal safety. This decision is wild, considering that not only their history, but the fact that Babyface recently experienced a bout of good publicity when his NPR Tiny Desk concert went viral. Things are, crazy. Crazy. Babyface, in his own statement about this separation, said that it's unfortunate and disheartening to see how things have played out via social media, which some would say he could have done more to mitigate. He could have jumped in there, but he closes out his short statement by saying that he has nothing but love and respect for Anita Baker and offers well wishes for the rest of the tour. However, I personally don't see how things could truly be okay with them. I don't. I don't think that they're going to recover from this anytime soon, and I definitely hope that they do not plan on going on tour together. Anita Baker, a star, a diva, but a star. Babyface, he is creative, so he's going to be a little bit, what's the word? Eclectic. And maybe these two just couldn't function together. I mean, it's like that sometimes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show. Of course, ONFIRE-TV. ONFIRE-TV.com is the website. Take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.